Hello and welcome to all. I am Dr. Asavri Sawant, Senior Sub-Editor at eLets Technomedia, India's leading and largest B2B multimedia platform. On behalf of eLets Technomedia and the Banking and Finance Post magazine, I extend a warm welcome to all for the launch of an exciting new series, the eLets Fintech Dialogues, in collaboration with the Department of Electronics, IT, Biotechnology and Science and Technology from Government of Karnataka. This exclusive series is an integral part of the World Fintech Summit, which is an upcoming 2-day premier event by eLets Technomedia that brings together the global fintech and BFSI community. From policymakers and industry leaders to innovators and key stakeholders, the summit fosters meaningful collaborations aimed at driving innovation and growth in financial services worldwide. We are honored to have the Department of Electronics, IT, Biotechnology and Science and Technology, Government of Karnataka as the host state partner alongside the Karnataka Digital Economy Mission as our strategic partner for the World FinTech Summit. This collaboration underscores Karnataka's pivotal role in advancing India's fintech landscape, creating unparalleled opportunities for connecting the country's dynamic fintech ecosystem and global players. For over 2 decades, eLets Technomedia has been at the forefront of organizing influential summits across governance, healthcare, education, and banking and finance, propelling these sectors into new frontiers. Together, our focus turns to the BFSI sector, where innovation and technology are not just transforming operations but igniting a full fledged revolution. The Banking and Finance Post is Asia's premier B2B magazine dedicated to the BFSI sector. This vertical has been shaping industry narratives for over a decade. As a trusted knowledge partner, we continue to spotlight trends in insights and innovations that redefine the future of banking, insurance, and financial services. The eLets FinTech Dialogue series celebrates trailblazing leaders and the innovators whose fintech driven initiatives are transforming lives and industries. So, today we are privileged to host an inspiring entrepreneur who has been instrumental in revolutionizing the BFSI sector in India. It is an absolute pleasure to welcome Mr. Mehul Jain, founder and CEO of Finigami AI. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much for joining us for this discussion. So, for our audience, Finigami AI stands at the forefront of AI innovation, empowering financial institutions to seamlessly harness artificial intelligence from strategy to execution. Under the visionary leadership of Mr. Mehul Jain, the company has rapidly emerged as the AI advisor of choice for banks, fintech firms, and the financial enterprises, helping them deploy cutting edge AI solutions that drive efficiency, enhance decision making, and elevate the customer experience. With a computer science degree from IIT Bombay and an MBA from NSEED, Mr. Jain brings a rare combination of technical expertise and strategic insight. His diverse career spans management consulting, venture capital, and product leadership, equipping him with a holistic understanding of how AI driven innovations can transform complex industries. Finigami's solutions cover the full AI adoption lifecycle, from crafting robust AI strategies to building and deploying customized AI systems. The company specializes in business AI agents, generative AI driven process automation, document and vision AI, and conversational AI. By enabling AI first financial enterprises, Mr. Jain and his team are reshaping the way institutions leverage AI, not just as a tool, but as a core driver of business transformation. So, thank you once again for joining us, sir, for this premiere episode of the eLets FinTech Dialogues. It's truly an honor to have you with us today. Now, let us start with our conversation.
Thank you, Savri. It's a pleasure to be on the show as well.
Yes. So, starting off, my first question would be for you is amazing work that you guys are doing at Finigami AI. Can you just share a brief about the amazing things that you have been achieving so far, and a few snippets into what you're working on currently?
Yeah, sure. Finigami was founded to bring AI to the world of finance in India.
Right.
Over the last couple of years, we've been hearing a lot about AI and what it can bring to the table, but really getting it into production and getting it into real use cases and driving real value is where we have been operating, and we've been focusing on the financial services space where there is a lot of complex processes, there's a lot of data, there are a lot of documents that are handled. And in if you look at the core of how finance operates, whether it be insurance or lending, there's a lot of unstructured data. When I say unstructured data, it implies having documents or conversations, and a lot of subjective decision making, which is where the modern era of AI, of generative AI, where you use strong language models, is extremely relevant. So we've been operating in that zone, and we've been building a lot of products for our clients across banking, insurance, and NBFCs. One of our core products is achieving document processing, but not just limited to standardized documents like PAN or Aadhaar. Our platform can basically assess and validate any document of any layout in any language. So given India is a multilingual economy, you have documents coming in various languages. In fact, some electricity bills we've seen are also handwritten. So processing these right now, you need a large workforce to just manually review each document. It not only is a cost, but also from a consumer point of view, if you have to apply somewhere and then wait for a few days, that's not a great experience, right? You want your application of loan application or insurance application to be processed immediately or as soon as possible. So that is what we enable NBFCs and banks to do. They can accept address proofs like electricity bills, utility bills, and process them straight through processing and validation. In fact, if the format changes or the language changes, our system doesn't care about it. It's able to extract the right information and validate it. So you're basically reducing time of processing a loan from days to minutes. Same for insurance claims. You can do your initial processing within minutes instead of it being like passed through multiple hands and a lot of data entry happening there. We can do it very quickly. So that's our core product. But we also have built conversational bots for our clients. We've built vision-based solutions for our clients. Essentially, what I'm saying here is that we operate in the era of unstructured data, and we want to build the future of finance. And that future of finance is definitely AI driven. No company right now can afford to be sitting in their boardrooms and saying that we'll just keep doing the way things have been done. They will lose out on their competitive advantage. And the way we achieve it is we go into companies, we do a session with their top leadership and identify the priorities of their business based on where the largest cost buckets are, or where is the opportunity to build a competitive advantage. And we build solutions with our in-house team focused on generative AI, a little bit of traditional machine learning as well, but mainly generative AI, and we help them achieve those value targets or unlock that value, if I have to speak in business terms.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing that. While we were researching about Finigami and its different, services that the organization provides, we also came across that it is not just restricted to the financial services sector, but also to others. So, can you also please touch upon how your solutions are transforming enterprise workflows, particularly in sectors, obviously at financial services, but also other sectors that you are catering to?
Yeah, sure. So the technology that we have right now is not focused on a particular sector. So even the solutions and the approaches that we come up with are not a very, very sector focused approach. The sector focus comes in from the market. So an industry that has a lot of data, has a lot of profit riding on their processes, they will be the first to actually adopt it. So financial services is ahead of the curve in terms of adopting AI technology, despite the compliance and regulation. Other sectors that are pushing for it is retail. Retail has a lot of data, but even sectors such as space tech or remote sensing, there's a lot of use of AI. We work with a company in the US that does satellite image-based soil moisture detection, and we built their cloud infra for them. We worked with investment funds, worked with companies in the logistics space to build auto allocation and proof of delivery so confirmation agents. So the idea here is that wherever you're sitting, you want to use AI and you want to become better. The companies and the sectors that adopt it first are going to be where companies like us or startups are going to go towards as well, because we obviously need a match in the market. And so that's why we started with financial services. But there have been other sectors that we've worked with as well as other countries as well. So it's not just restricted to India. We've worked with players outside India as well. In fact, working with players outside India, it's easier to work in non-financial services spaces because the compliance restrictions are lower, and we can operate with less geographical restriction on the data and the process. So when we work outside India, we exclusively don't work in the financial space. When we work in India, we have a strong presence in the financial services space. So we do a lot more of BFSI as opposed to other sectors.
Thank you so much, sir. So next, we would want to know that as Finigami AI has collaborated with notable clients like IIFL Finance and Aperture Space, helping them leverage AI for process optimization and efficiency. Can you share some success stories where Finigami AI solutions had made impact on clients' operations, etc., for the audience who is from the same sector and wanting to adopt, such technologies into their model?
Sure. So one of the first things that we picked up was customer support. So one of the clients we were working with, they had a customer support tool which was extremely old school in the sense that you have buttons that you click and you keep going down the tree, and then you realize that what you want is not there, and so you have to come out and start again. And we converted that to a more conversational tool. We kept the button interface as well. So you can do the conversations, but if you really know where you want to be, you can also use the buttons. And the way we built it is that we integrated it with an auto classification model and an automated ticketing model. So anytime a conversation is started and it progresses, the tool classifies this so that when it needs to be routed to the internal teams, if it's not able to resolve it automatically, it gets routed to the right team immediately. So doesn't go into a central ticketing engine and then your support team tries to classify it and forwards it to say the marketing team or your operations team, then tries to get an answer. It auto classifies it, it sends it to the right person. But more importantly, what it tries to do is it uses the knowledge base of previous resolutions and your internal databases and sort of document repositories to answer questions immediately without the need of human involvement. And that basically let their customer support rating go from 3.8 to 4.6 out of 5. So that was a huge jump in their customer satisfaction score. And they were able to reduce their ticket volumes by 50%. So it's a very good use case for any company that is struggling with their customer support. It not just reduces cost, but because your resolution happens immediately. Imagine calling up someone and them telling you that, okay, we'll get back to you after 48 hours versus you receiving the answer immediately on the phone or on your chat, right? There's a huge difference and it builds customer loyalty. So the pitch for the new AI era is not that you can save cost, but you can really attract customers who will be loyal to you just because of your serving, and it gives you pricing power as well.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing insights into the details. So, as you rightly mentioned, that maintaining speed and accuracy is also very vital while conducting all these back-end processes, and especially in financial services, where processes such as streamlining KYC verification and underwriting process are very strictly undertaken because of the stringent regulatory landscape. So, what are some of the compliance challenges businesses face, and how does Finigami AI ensure adherence to industry standards while also maintaining speed and accuracy in the results?
Compliance challenges are multifold. One, the most important compliance, I wouldn't call it a challenge, it's a safeguard, right? I mean, the compliances are there so that the economy can be safer. It's you can call it a challenge technologically, but I would say that uh, from a tech point of view, it doesn't, it makes your life also easier because you know what to expect. The requirements are set, well defined, well known across the industry for every technology player, and they don't vary a lot company by company. So if I go to a new client here, I know what to expect. I know what they will want from a compliance point of view. It's very clear for me. And also those compliances drive their internal policy. So it's their internal policies also are the same. You have to be in India. You have to host all your data in India. The way we handle it is we, in fact, not only give you India, but we give it to you on your servers. So our solution can reside on your servers on premise, completely cut off from the outside internet, so there can be no compliance or audit challenge. Uh, we give you a full audit trail of which documents have been processed or what actions have been taken on the tool. We also give you control over what kind of fields you want from a document. So for example, if I don't want to have in the logs or in my database the name of the person, right, from a particular document, I only want the ID of the document. I can change the configuration so that name is not even extracted out. So there is no real risk of that being sort of leaked out into your results. The fourth thing we do it in the system that we use, we rely on the client to store the data. We process it and immediately delete it. That's immediate purge of data. We have it just stays in memory while it's processed, and then nothing, no trace of it is found on our system. So from our system's point of view, we can audit that and then obviously be sure that all the compliances are met because the data doesn't even stay there. In terms of speed and performance, it really depends on the use case. But essentially, once you build something that can live on the servers of the client, you can actually achieve much better speeds than a sort of remote cloud solution, right? So the way these compliances help us is that if we solve the problem of being on the client servers, we actually make ourselves better in this process in terms of speed and performance.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing the insights and details. So while we talk about integrating AI into operations, adopting such technologies, many clients have many misconceptions about companies and also about how AI implementation would be working. So while for a new client, could you walk us down the process of crafting a tailored AI strategy? And what are some of the common misconceptions companies have, if you can elaborate, about AI implementation? And how does Finigami help in dispel them while also ensuring seamless adoption of the new technology?
Yeah, sure. So when people look at AI, they are worried about a few things, right? They're worried about the models not being hosted on their server, and so the data is going out. They're worried about the results not being accurate and the responses not being accurate. They are worried about their the access to data not being controlled because you have to train the AI on all your data, and so leakage can happen. There are technical solutions to all of it, right? If as a company you are able to articulate your hesitations in using AI, then you can actually solve 90% of your issues. And maybe if the 10 use cases that you think, or the 10 places where you believe AI would be helpful, maybe 2 or 3 of them won't work because of those issues. But all the other ones are going to work. For instance, if you are worried about the answer not being accurate or containing some issues, you can always create a draft response for your customer support agents, right? And that essentially looking up the information, getting the data, and creating a draft response, that is 90% of the work. Sending it sort of proofreading and sending is only 10% of the work. So essentially, if you're not doing this, what you're telling your sort of leadership or board is that I will not achieve 90% value because I'm afraid of the 10%. That's not the right approach when you're looking at sort of value delivery, right? So if you want to implement AI in your company, the uh, best approach is to identify the big pockets of cost and the time spent of your employees, right? This is on the process side. And once you identify those large buckets, what we do is when we go in, we do a brainstorming session with their senior leadership on how can we reduce this time, not by 10-20%, but by 1/10. So 10 days to 1 day. How can we do 10 days to 1 day, right? When you try to think about 10 days to 1 day, maybe you don't get to 1 day, but at least you'll get to 2 days, right? So 10 days to 2 days is also a great leap. And the technology right now is capable of doing. Once we have identified those ideas, we also built a risk mitigation strategy for them. So that's completely covered. So what happens if my AI model hallucinates? How can I do it on my server and not send my data outside? And once the company start talking to us or AI experts who understand how the space works, they get convinced that the challenges that are there, there is a strong basis for it, but there are also strong solutions to those challenges. Right? And that's what we help them identify. And once they identify, once they identify that, then they all agree that AI has immense value and they should be doing it. In fact, what we suggest is if you want to if you have 10 ideas, you should start working on 20 ideas, because maybe out of 25, 5 are going to be very, very good, and they will pay more than 10 times over for your failed 15 ideas. Even if just 5 of them succeed, you will be making a lot of money.
Thank you so much, sir. Definitely, those tips and tricks are making Finigami AI the success that it is deserving. So, beyond efficiency gains, AI has the potential to drive complete business transformation. Can you share some examples where AI implementation has led to a major shift in the company's business model or competitive advantage in this industry?
Not at the liberty to sort of share examples of our clients because of confidentiality issues. But if you look at companies that are doing B2B sales, they used to take a lot of time to actually sort of reach out to people and communicate with them. Now with AI, you can actually automate everything, including personalized emails and personalized responses. And you eliminate the entire lead qualification and lead validation piece. What that means is that it's not just an efficiency improvement in the sense that I can have 5 less people in my company, but the top of the funnel for companies is basically you have 100 people and out of them you convert about 2 or 3 people. That's how usually sales would work, because most people are not interested. What you can do with deep intent and immediate reach out is, instead of reaching out to 100 people, you can reach out now to 1,000 people. Because now you don't have to handle 100 people, you only have to handle 10% that actually AI is leaving for you, right? So now you can 10x your sales immediately. And that kind of leaves you in a different space of thinking about scaling rather than surviving. So a lot of startups in the B2B space are picking this up. Some folks have changed their strategy altogether to AI-led personalization. I recently High Touch raised at $1 billion valuation in the US based on Gen AI-led personalization of marketing content. That's a big shift in their strategy, because earlier this sort of approach was not even available. So a lot of these companies are doing it. And I'm sure within a year or so, we will see new verticals coming up within companies. The most recent example is Zomato launching a customer service bot for enterprises a few days ago. They are a food delivery and restaurant booking startup, or you can also extend it to supplying retailers with raw materials. So it's very heavy operational stuff. But with Gen AI, they took the bet, and we'll see how it goes. But they're taking a bet to now become an enterprise tech solutions company, with starting with the customer service part. Similar to the leap that Amazon had taken with cloud. They were selling stuff and delivering stuff, and then they immediately became a cloud technology provider, and that worked out very well for them. So yeah, I mean, companies are going to come up with new products that they can sell to their existing clientele, and that will completely change the company that they're the thing that they're known for.
Thank you so much, sir. So we are coming down to the end of our discussions for today, but we still have a few more questions to go. So as AI adoption accelerates across industries, what do you believe are the most significant opportunities for AI integration in businesses over the next 5 years? Kind of like your projection for the AI adoption for this industry for the coming 5 years. And are there any emerging AI technologies that you think will be a game changer for the financial tech industry as well?
So AI adoption is going to increase. I don't think there is anyone who's going to say otherwise. But the pace of it is going to depend on what gets proven, right? The market leaders need to be part of the discovery process. They cannot wait for something to be successful and then adopt it, because then they are at a risk of losing their market leadership position. And because they have the capital to do it, they need to be experimenting a lot more and failing a lot more rather than succeeding. So like I said, if you have 10 ideas, you should try 20, because as a market leader, you can afford it. The second thing people should keep an eye out for is looking at startups who are building products for that space and partnering with them right away from the inception. Because one or two of these startups are going to turn out to be industry creators, right? If they are partnered with a particular bank or NBFCs and they are able to give them 5x advantage in processing times, the market can be cornered. I mean, people are not really, if I want a loan, I'm not really loyal to the provider after a certain point. I need faster approvals, better rates, and AI is going to change all that. So partnering is very important. In terms of new technologies, overall, I think there's been a lot of work on text and image. But in recent times, you've seen a lot of new work happening on audio and video also. For regional language calling is going to be big. I think most banks in the next 2 years are going to transfer their call center to AI. At least 80-90% of the first calls are going to go to AI. Video creation is important. Most companies that are doing sort of product videos or influencer videos are going to have some version of an AI created video. It can be either filler shots or complete product photo shoots. We'll see how the technology goes from here. But that is the next frontier. And the last one is agents. So we are also moving in that direction. We are building agents for businesses on marketing, which can do entire complete process from identification of the idea to actually delivering the output, not just a part of the output. So these agents are going to be the new employees. So instead of hiring an employee, I'm going to pay $1,000 and hire an agent, which means the employees will have to do more high quality work instead of just typing in data or like typing in your Excels and writing out documents. Employees are going to be doing higher quality work, and all the lower quality or repeatable work is going to go into AI agents. This is going to come first in the US, of course. I mean, India, the cost is low, so the adoption is always later when it comes to cost saving, cost efficiency kind of markets. In US already, the calling is going to AI. English is very good. As soon as vernacular Indian languages becomes good, it's going to come to India as well. And everyone's going. Some people have started, but most people are going to move there. So that's what I feel over the next 2-3 years. Audio and video are also going to play a big role in terms of how people work, and a lot of mundane work is going to go completely to AI agents.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insights and views. We come down to the very last question for this discussion, which is a new segment that we have, wherein with all the leaders that come onto our platform, we ask them one piece of information that hasn't been revealed on any other platform yet, a piece of exclusive information only for BFSI audience, for ELET's audience. So can you please reveal one exclusive piece of information or something that Finigami AI has been working on would be out soon to all our audience that is watching to stay, informed as a sneak peek into what's up next.
Uh, Great. So what we've been working on is very exciting. I mentioned briefly at the end of my previous answer that agents are going to change the workforce. We are working on creating those agents that are completely configurable, completely hostable on the servers of the client, and they can do everything from web crawling to document processing to taking actions like sending emails or sending WhatsApp messages, or even taking actions on the user's browser by opening the browser automatically and like clicking on buttons. And this is the way we are building it is a very configurable way. So essentially, imagine your SEO SEO executive completely being replaced with an agent that is 10x faster and also has inbuilt checks for every single thing about tone of voice, brand imagery, as well as simple things like grammar, and it automatically posts it. And we also have the option to have a human in the loop. So if you want to only review it, you can review it. So wherever these agents are deployed, we expect 10x output in terms of the cost that you incur while doing those operations, especially for like research kind of operations where you're looking at a lot of information and trying to build an analysis or a strategy or trying to create content which takes a lot of time. This is what we're working on. Agents are the future of AI, and we are building it for Indian BFSI sector.
So that was it with Mr. Mehul Jain, founder and CEO of Finigami AI. Sir, thank you so much for your insights and information that you have shared with us in this very insightful session. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot to the LH team and especially to you, Dr. Asabri. Thank you for the conversation. I really enjoyed it.
We also enjoyed it, sir. And for the audience, if you have any questions for Mr. Mehul or for Finigami AI, please feel free to drop it in the comments box below. We will be sure to get onto it and share you the updates. Also, if you have any other organizations that are working amazing in this space, would want to have, would want to feature their leaders with us, also leave your suggestions for those down below. Stay informed with us for the latest financial technologies with eLet's BFSI, and stay tuned for the upcoming series. Thank you so much. We bid you goodbye.